Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling the absolute backbone of international trade, demystifying HS codes, the global language of trade. Whether you're managing complex global supply chains or just handling the occasional cross-border shipment, getting a grip on this is, frankly, non-negotiable. So let's just dive right in.
Picture this for a second. Two identical shipments arrive at a port. I mean, exactly the same product, same weight, the whole shebang. Yet, one of them ends up getting hit with a massively higher customs duty. Crazy, right? Well, how does that even happen? Honestly, it usually boils down to one tiny, sneaky detail: a wrong HS code. It's the kind of small error that literally destroys financial forecasting. Let's look at exactly why that is.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, what are HS codes? Then, we're decoding the numbers. After that, we'll look at the cost of mistakes, followed by finding the right code. And finally, we'll wrap up with a summary and next steps.
All right, part one. What are HS codes? The Global Classification System.
So, HS code. That stands for Harmonized System Code. You can really just think of it as the ultimate universal language for products. Look, before any product can cross a border, customs officials need to know exactly what it is they're looking at, right? And they definitely don't care about your marketing descriptions or fancy brand names. They rely entirely on this global classification system to categorize every single good moving through international trade. Basically, it's the standardized dictionary that every country uses just to get on the exact same page.
Now, this system really serves three core purposes. These codes, they aren't just for some back-end record keeping. They directly determine your customs duty, they apply specific import and export regulations, and they identify all the applicable taxes. Long story short, this little code dictates the absolute rules of the game for your specific shipment.
Moving on to part two, decoding the numbers, going from macro to micro.
A standard HS code is usually somewhere between 6 to 10 digits long. The international standard forms the base, which is 6 digits, but individual countries actually have the flexibility to extend the code further to meet their own specific tracking or taxation needs. Take India, for example. They utilize an 8-digit code system just to get that extra necessary layer of granularity for their domestic customs processing.
If you want to visualize the structure, think of it kind of like a funnel. Step 1 uses the first 2 digits for the chapter, which is your broad product category. Then, Step 2 adds the next 2 digits for the heading. And Step 3 tacks on 2 more for the subheading. With every single pair of numbers you add, the classification gets infinitely more specific.
Let's make this concrete. The code sequence 8501 maps directly to electric motors. Fun fact, even something as ridiculously specific as a plastic fake mustache actually has its own unique code. So, instead of guessing, these digits instantly tell customs officers exactly what's inside the box. And, like we said, depending on the destination country, adding more digits just dials in that precision even further.
Which brings us to part 3, the cost of mistakes. Why accuracy matters.
And here's the stark reality of the situation. Getting the correct code guarantees smooth clearance and the correct costs. Your supply chain just keeps moving like clockwork. But plugging in the wrong code? Oh man, that triggers increased duties, severe financial penalties, and just massive port delays. Literally, one wrong digit can completely blow up your profit margins.
To avoid those compliance nightmares, there are a few super common traps you've got to watch out for. First off, relying on incorrect or overly generic codes just because they're, easier to find. Don't do it. Second, blindly copying codes from past shipments or from a supplier without actually doing your own verification. And third, ignoring updates in the customs tariff. The system isn't static, it gets updated over time. Stumbling into any of these traps will absolutely derail your shipment.
Let's pivot to solutions. Part 4. Finding the right code. This is your action plan.
The good news is you really don't have to guess. There are some fantastic, dedicated tools you can use to lock down your exact code. You should always start by utilizing the official customs tariff website for the specific country you're importing into. Next, cross-reference that with official product classification guidelines. And honestly, if you are ever in doubt, the absolute best investment you can make is a quick consultation with a licensed customs broker. They are the true experts when it comes to translating your physical product into this numerical language.
Now, here is a vital piece of insider insight. Always, always lock down a highly accurate product description before you finalize the code.
Two products might look totally identical to the naked eye, but a slight difference in the material they're made of will completely change the HS code and, as a result, your duty rate. You have to know exactly what it's made of first.
All right, Part 5. Summary and next steps. Looking ahead.
Let's do a quick recap. First, the HS code is the definitive global product classification system. Second, it is the fundamental tool governments use for duty, tax, and compliance. And third, and definitely most importantly, a wrong code directly equals higher costs, devastating delays, and massive risk to your business.
Seriously, if you take only one single thing away from our entire explainer today, let it be this simple equation. Correct HS code equals correct cost. Nailing the sequence of numbers is, hands down, the absolute best way to protect your margins and ensure a smooth, headache-free importing process. So now that you understand exactly how HS codes impact your costs and customs clearance, you are ready for the next level of supply chain mastery. Up next in our educational journey, we'll be covering an explainer on SAP MRP, that's Material Requirements Planning. We'll be showing you exactly how material is planned and tracked to guarantee smooth, uninterrupted business functioning. Trust me, you won't want to miss that one. But until then, I want to leave you with a quick question to think about. Are you ready to go back right now, audit your current product codes, and avoid surprise penalties on your very next shipment? Keep learning, stay proactive, and always stay ahead of the curve. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.